Hello, hello everyone, can you hear me? Can I just have a little bit of quiet? Just for 1 second, I just have a little announcement to make. Hello. Hush, can I just make an announcement, everyone? Hello, thank you. Just once you've finished your lunch, can you please make your way up the back? We're going to have a group photo in front of this banner that has a declaration on it. So if you would like to read the public declaration we're making at the moment, you can read that banner, and then we're going to have a group photo in front of it. So we have a lovely photographer Sol with us who's going to help facilitate that. So once you've finished your food, you can put your plates in one of the trays near the tables where you collected your food and make your way up the back. That would be wonderful. Thank you. Hello, hello.
Testing, testing.
Alright, thanks guys. We're going to take the photo in just a second. We're just waiting for Joe. Alright, I think that's pretty much everyone. Alright, we got Joe, here we go. Alright guys, so I'll just ask everyone to look up into the camera. Guys, right on the side here, can you squidge in just a little bit more? Thank you so much. Alright.
All right.
As short as I can,
Okay.
and I'll just flick through the pictures and stuff.
Yeah. As you know,
I'll try to be as short
Yeah.
as I can, but I want to
But
make
we're going to
sure.
do a panel. We're going to do a panel.
Yeah. It's not about the tax.
I'm just wondering, can you get close to this brother with the mic stand around?
Yes,
Hold
I
on,
will go
hold on.
that close.
One hook. Oh, yeah, bring it down. Yeah. Yep. That'll be good for that. Yep, that's
Are you
good.
going to talk about the long glasses? Somebody left glasses.
Okay.
Build up windows.
Okay, everybody, if I could have your attention. After all of that, I think we all know each other a little bit better. We feel pretty relaxed. Unfortunately, it's nearly all over, so, maybe you have to get some phone numbers. We just heard that somebody's left some glasses up the back. Is that right? As in on the windowsill. So if anybody's looking for their glasses, they may be them.
It's Paul.
Oh, it was yours, Paul. Paul Wynn. Okay. Left his glasses behind. Okay, we are only a little bit over time, but I mean it's been pretty interesting from what I've heard, and I think that's the feedback I'm getting as well. So I think we can all cope with that little bit of delay. But anyway, we'll move on, and in the session that we've just had is really looking about economics and markets, and the next speaker in that is Ingrid Trainer. So Ingrid holds a PhD in economics from Macquarie University and has a wide-ranging background in consulting in academia and in local and overseas community development. After 2 decades as an economics and finance academic, she established Lily Pilly Consulting in 2013 to hone her passion for interdisciplinary economic analyses, the latest of which she will speak to today. And Ingrid, a lot of her work is what would have been responded to by Origin Energy. It's about Paul's, but also they're very well aware of the work that Ingrid's done. So it's very much important in this whole process. So Ingrid, thank you for what you've been doing. And everybody, could you please welcome Ingrid Trainer.
Thank you very much, Greg. Can everybody hear me? Is this okay? Okay. So I very quickly talk about some economic considerations. So first the problem, well, we've heard a lot about the problem, then the solution as an economist sees it, and then some of the opportunities. So the first slide is the geographical distribution of the problem. You can see on the top left the Hunter Valley group, Liddell and Bayswater, then the 2 power stations around Lake Macquarie, Mount Piper out in the west, and in the south, not to forget, the old Wallerawang station. The Illawarra also has its own ash dam. So if we very quickly go through the next few slides, the problem on Lake Macquarie, we can see 61 million tonnes in Wales Point and 40 million tonnes in Eraring. These are, for an economist, these are resources. Yes, they are creating an environmental problem, but for an economist, they are resources. In the next slide, we see 2 pictures from the Upper Hunter Valley, 39 million tonnes in Liddell, and 45 million tonnes in Bayswater. The next slide is Lithgow. We have Mount Piper with 15 million tonnes, and we have the former Wallerawong power station's ash dam with 13 million tons. Now, we've heard a lot about the problems environmentally. Again, for an economist, they are resources. So what is the economic problem? On the next slide. Simply put, the dumping of the ash is too cheap. When economists want an economic actor to change their behavior, economists have two options. They either make the alternative behavior cheaper, so the good behavior becomes cheaper, or they make the damaging behavior more expensive or more complicated. So in this case, the damaging behavior is dumping the coal ash, that's what we want to avoid, and the alternative behavior is we want the power stations to produce reliable quality fly ash that can be certified and profitably sold for environmentally safe reuse. That's what they do with the ash they produce now. There are some improvements that can be made. They do cost a little bit of money, but they could very easily make all that up if they sold high quality fly ash at a consistent quality. But more to the point for what we're here today for, we want the power stations to come to the party to facilitate the reuse of the ash that is stored in the dam. So on the next slide, the economic solution is a load-based levy for all dumped coal ash. We're not talking about a tax of what has happened in the past. We're talking about a load-based levy. For every ton they put into the ash dam, they have to pay. And we want the levy to be big enough that it hurts. If they pay it. Now, as an economist, if we put a levy on a particular behavior, we don't want them to pay the levy. We want them to change their behavior. We want them to come to the party. We want them to facilitate the reuse of the ash that is in the dam. As Ian said, we have very little time left while these power stations operate. We need them to come to the party now. And that's why we demand a load-based levy. Not because we want them to pay it, because we want them to change their mindset. We want them to get a circular economy mindset. We want them to understand that they're a steward for the product they produce. And they don't only produce energy, they also produce ash. And they have to become a steward for this ash, and they have to facilitate and to participate in the reuse of the ash. So on the next slide, the economic opportunity. We have looked into what would it mean if we develop a regional industry or regional industries in the different regions I showed at the beginning where we have coal ash dams. If we produce lightweight, structural, precast concrete products. So on the next slide, we see a few pictures. Nick had a few similar pictures up. This gives you an impression. These are all precast concrete products that are being produced at the moment. We have precasters in all the regions where we have ash dams. If this stuff is made with a concrete that is made with a structural lightweight aggregate, as Nick has talked about, you look at the forklift at the bottom left. If that